The thing about those, what happened with those mini riots or whatever, protests, no sense of sympathy whatsoever for why people might actually be out on the streets. What happens whenever we have a riot in this country, like if you think of 2011 in London and other riots, I mean, going right back in the 1980s, Brixton riots, Toxteth riots, I remember, people condemned the violence, rightly, as we all do. No one's, basically trying to justify that. But there was always this sort of thought, what is behind this? Let's look at what's behind. Why? Why do people feel?
George Floyd, for example.
Yes.
And they didn't even condemn his violence and his issues.
Exactly. Why do people feel this way? We should address the underlying issues. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah.
Except for this one. There was no attempt to actually get to what was behind it. Nothing. It was just coming down on it like a hammer. No one said, well, what's actually behind it? What's the anger? And we have our media, unfortunately, on the whole, to thank for that, because they don't go into it. They just immediately take the sort of same line as the Prime Minister did, which is that these are just kind of far-right thugs.
Even the Daily Mail.
Yes, I think they're all becoming much of a muchness now, Andrew, really. I mean, including the Mail.
It's sort of them against us.
Yes.
Social media influencers.
Yes. I mean, with all my reservations about Twitter and all my reservations about social media generally, I have to thank God for it, actually, in a way, because it's the only way, in fact, you're going to get certain kinds of information now. But I just think it was very telling that there was no allowances made whatsoever for the reasons that people might have just gone a bit wild, which they did. As I said, no one is saying what they did was right if they kind of set light to put it. We have to say that, of course, but you should at least try to address the underlying issues. There was no attempt, and there is none attempt.